Ladies and gentlemen, if you read the letter from the House Judiciary Committee, it's pretty obvious that Stormy Daniels will eventually testify before the House Judiciary, possibly the House Oversight Committees. You have Jim Jordan, James Comer, and other Republicans demand communications, documents, and testimony from the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg. This is just the first demand for testimony or documents related to the Trump hush money investigation and grand jury in New York. It wasn't viewed as an FEC violation, but leave it to New York Democrats and prosecutors to go after Trump for political purposes. This has literally nothing to do with the rule of law because the FEC didn't even view it to be a violation. It's beyond the statute of limitations. Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels have both denied at certain points through letters as well that anything even happened. Or that, Michael Cohen stated the payments were his funds, not anything to do with Trump's businesses. And Stormy denied that the relationship took place. Michael Cohen also stated initially that it wasn't a campaign finance violation, but you have to ask why Stormy Daniels got a book deal from St. Martin Press, and it's a division of Macmillan Publishers. They've also published Soul of a Democrat, Democrat by Design, The Case for Cancel Culture, and a whole bunch of other wonderful history of the Democratic Party, what it took to win. So it's not just Macmillan or St. Martin Press. It's any major publisher, most major publishers, I should say. If you play ball or if you are, if you despise Trump or you're going after a Republican, especially Trump, you're going to get a big book deal. So the Democrats don't stuff your pocket full of money. You just happen to get book deals. You happen to always get on Jimmy Kimmel. You happen to get favorable coverage from the New York Times, MSNBC, CNN, the Washington Post, Vanity Fair, Esquire, The Atlantic. You just happen to, all of these things happen simultaneously, but nobody puts money in your pocket. So Tammany Hall is a little bit different from the way things worked in the late 1800s, early 1900s. But all Jim Jordan has to ask, and hit subscribe to this channel right now, is the following. Did you communicate with Democrats when Michael Avenatti was speaking at DNC functions? Because Michael Avenatti was her lawyer. He spoke to numerous DNC functions. He was going to run for president. Politico even, I think, published an article, The Case for Avenatti 2020. And she got an $800,000 book deal, I believe. I believe it was $800,000. And, yeah, she signed $800,000. And prosecutors said Avenatti illegally pocketed $300,000 of her advance. But did any Democratic operative, public relations executive, attorney, congressman, congresswoman, staffer tell you, Miss Daniels, or that's she has another name, but did anybody tell you that you would be rewarded for going after Trump? Did anybody tell you you'd get a book deal? Did anybody tell? So they're going to ask all of these questions according to James Comer and Jim Jordan. Stormy Daniels will testify before Congress. It's within that letter that they sent to Alvin Bragg. The DA, here's the thing with the New York Democrats, okay? You have the Clinton Foundation, for example, that got tens of millions, I think it was well over $100 million. Then a very bizarre and shady uranium deal goes down. No, Hillary Clinton couldn't have vetoed the sale. Only President Obama could have. The question is, why didn't President Obama? I thought they were our mortal enemies. So then now the Kremlin gets a huge benefits from this huge deal that both Clintons had something to do with, because their foundation got a great deal of money from people who would benefit from that deal. Then 20% of U.S. uranium capacity, according to the New York Times, is given to the Kremlin, or is allowed to, the Kremlin is then allowed to take advantage of that. And so, not one investigation in New York, not one. Maybe 2 seconds. They investigated in 2016 for like 2 minutes. But Trump with Stormy, big problem. Uranium, not so much. What's the problem? It's a commodity. This is what they always come up with the stupidest excuses. It's just a commodity. Uranium, not a big deal. What's the problem? Oh, but there's an oil embargo now, and we're now 90 seconds to midnight, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. Not an issue at all. Hunter's laptop full of incriminating emails, 150 banking transactions investigated by financial institutions, all of these 10% that Hunter says he gives to Joe of all the deals, and Joe lied about being involved. Of course he was involved. He said he didn't know anything what's going on. He's totally involved. They're totally committing crimes. Not a problem. He hasn't been indicted yet. But Trump, because nobody can prove that he had the romantic relationship. Okay, I think he did. I don't think that she got $130,000 for nothing. But they're going after Trump for political purposes. Okay, I think Hillary Clinton will be the 24 nominee. I really do. I don't think anything's stopping Hillary Clinton. I think she will steamroll her way through the Democratic Party because Democrats have nobody other than Hillary Clinton, and nobody will stop her. But anyway, I think that she'll be the 24 nominee. And all of this benefits her because suddenly Bill Clinton somehow looks better because they're going after Trump with hush money payments. So, when will they get somebody with integrity in the White House again? So, you look, it's purely political, but the thing is, she'll be on the witness stand, not only on the witness stand if he gets indicted or arrested, and that pretty much is ended, okay? But she's going to have to go, and actually she might not be on the witness stand. That's the thing. So she might not be on the witness stand in terms of a potential Trump indictment, which won't happen. But one of the reasons I think they didn't indict Trump is because they know that James Comer and Jim Jordan are going to ask for testimony from Alvin Bragg, the DA, and specific prosecutors in New York, but especially Stormy and especially Michael Cohen. Stormy Daniels even more so than Michael Cohen. They'll ask, well, why did you deny the affair? Did you write this letter denying the affair? Did you get any perks or benefits or money? Were you promised a book deal? Were you in contact with any Democrat from 2016 to today? What was the nature of the contact? Then they're going to ask for that person, whether it's Schiff or whether it's Swalwell or whatever. Nadler, Pelosi. We talked about Pelosi likely being involved. So Pelosi might not have called her directly, but through an intermediary, a public relations executive. You have two people in 2016 who CNN reported were operatives of the Democratic Party fomenting violence at Trump's rallies. They were forced to resign. By the way, hit subscribe. Read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. And on hagoodman.com, become part of a newsletter there. Also, my super thanks is below, next to the like and the share buttons. And my Patreon is below. To my new Patreons, thank you. But she will testify before Congress. Jim Jordan and James Comer, that's probably certain. If Trump was indicted and arrested, she would definitely be testifying. Right now, they might ask her to testify, even without the indictment, because that letter, you can go to the House Judiciary site. Jordan, Comer, Steele demand communications, documents, and testimony from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. It goes on. They want all of the information regarding Michael Cohen, Stormy, all of these. They want documents of communication regarding everything to do with this. And the documents and communication will be prior to testimony. So now you have the House Judiciary, House Intel, House Oversight, all Republican, Trump Republican. You have the House of Representatives now going to bat for Trump. Now imagine if he had a Senate that went to bat for him. Imagine if he was able to have intelligence agencies that went to bat for him, guess what? He probably wouldn't go after his political rivals the way Democrats were. I say probably wouldn't. Because he doesn't need that stuff. Like, they say that Trump is a narcissist, but the greatest narcissists are the people who call Trump a narcissist. Because they obsess about his personality and ignore we had record low poverty with Trump. We had record low poverty with this man. What did this man do? What did this man do to break the morally superior, highly educated, liberal Democrats who are almost always apoplectic? They're wonderful people, though. Good people. They care about the planet. Very wonderful people. We're 90 seconds to midnight. Well, a little minor detail, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, directly because of Biden's foreign policy. But, other than that, at least he's not a narcissist like Trump. But Biden was also accused literally of what Trump talked about in a hot mic, but even more than that. And of course, they didn't believe. Because it's only credible when you accuse Trump. And it's not credible, I guess, when you accuse Biden or Democrats. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Stormy will be testifying eventually. Almost certainly, if Trump is indicted, I don't think he will be for this. They might try to get him in Georgia, but that's even a weaker case than this one. Because he didn't tell anybody to commit any specific criminal act. He speaks in hyperbolic terms, and media then runs with it and says, he meant this. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe. Thank you so very, very much. They will need Stormy Daniels' testimony. That testimony alone could completely obliterate any chance at arrest. The arrest isn't happening in New York, but it would completely undermine the entire investigation because it would bolster the fact that it was politically motivated. Give me your thoughts.